Way.
I call him a loner. He didn't like to mingle with people. He didn't want to go to football games or baseball games. He'd just as soon stay home.
And what was home life like before you got divorced?
It was good. It was a happy home. The kids were happy.
This is me. This is my son Scott. And this is daughter Teresa. And this is Brenda. I think she's about 10. She's really tiny and pretty cute.
So just a regular American suburban family?
Yeah.
Why did you get divorced? What happened?
The story had it that I was seeing another woman, but that was just a rumor. It was not true.
And how come all the children stayed with you? That's unusual. They normally stay with the mother.
Well, I went to court and I fought for custody, you know.
Why did you want custody?
Well, because I love my kids, you know. I wanted to keep them. I wanted to raise them myself.
Doc said you wanted custody of the children because you were too mean to pay child support.
Oh, jeez. Well, I've heard several stories, but I went to court to fight for custody because I love my kids.
Well, as Brenda did say in her parole hearing last week that you sexually abused her.
She what?
She said in her parole hearing that you sexually abused her, that you sodomized her.
Brenda said that? In her hearing on Tuesday? Well, it's not true.
I mean, her exact words, and I'm just telling you
well,
what
okay,
her parole hearing was that you almost raped her.
No, well, that never happened, you know. I would take a lie detector on that. I never did anything like that.
Did your father perform
Sodomy.
And did that lead to digital penetration?
Yes.
And later into intercourse?
Yes.
So are you now indicating that there was actual intercourse involved?
It was, I guess you'd call it sodomy.
And Brenda's mother said to us that you and Brenda, after the divorce, shared a bed together.
We shared the bedroom. She had her bed, I had my bed.
Have you ever discussed this with your father?
I've tried to.
And
I don't
when
get anywhere.
well, did you ever confront him?
I confronted him.
What did he say?
He just doesn't want to talk about it.
So Wallace, how did you come to marry one of Brenda's former cellmates? What happened there?
I don't think I want to answer that question. Okay.
And are you still with her?
No.
No. Okay. But your daughter lives here?
Yes. She did not want her daughter. Okay? And that's the only statement I will make.
Once the allegations of abuse came to light, did you ever want any action taken against Wallace? Did you want the police involved?
I would have liked to have them, yes. But there wasn't enough evidence to do anything. But I would have been very happy if they had done something.
If Brenda Spencer is granted parole, she wants to move back to the only place she'd ever lived outside prison, San Diego, and find a job as a forklift operator. The 43-year-old Brenda believes she's a different person than the 16-year-old girl who didn't like Mondays.
I realize that nothing I do and no amount of time will bring Mr. Ragg or Mr. Suker back. And it won't erase the fear and stuff that I've given to those kids and Mr. Rob. I just want them to know that I'm very sorry, and I don't know how to make it up to them. But I try every day to make myself a better person so that because I don't want anything this horrible to ever happen again.
Do you think she should have got the death penalty?
Sure. Yeah. It was a bad thing to do, you know. Goodness. But I think that's how I feel. Or be incarcerated forever, you know, that sort of thing. She must live. But what a life.
Her term, 25 years to life, kind of was scary because when it happened 25 years ago and she received that sentence, I thought, oh, I'll be so old then. It'll be different. It's not.
It was expected that the parole board would take at least a couple of hours deciding Brenda Spencer's case. In actuality, it took them only 15 minutes to come to a verdict.
All right, we have all returned. At this time, the panel has come to a decision. The motive of the crime was inexplicable and very trivial in relationship to the offense. Unfortunately, this world is filled with things that should never happen to children. However, that does not allow them to perpetrate violence on others. But I know how difficult it must be for you, Miss Spencer, to be able to come out here in front of all these people and talk about something that you have kept silent for so many years. I think Miss Spencer has made a breakthrough. I think it's important because one of the most dangerous things that we ever have to deal with is a crime that has no understanding whatsoever. She is attempting not to be that person that she was that many years ago. This is not a life without possibility of parole. She does have the right to be reviewed. It is not reasonable to expect that parole will be granted in the next 4 years. Good luck, Ms. Spencer.
Thank you.
This hearing is adjourned. I think. Thank you.
This is News 8 at 6:30.
Parole board has decided Brenda Spencer should stay behind bars for at least 4 more years,
One
despite
of the most highly publicized crimes.
So it will be 2009.
I'm Bob Anfield reporting live.
NBC 739.
Do you ever feel at all responsible for what happened on that day in 1979?
Somewhat. I thought if I could have held the family together, if he hadn't been out, you know, fooling around, and maybe if I'd been more tolerant and let him have his little fling for a while, and that we would have stayed together, that maybe it wouldn't have happened. So I do feel a little bit responsible.
I don't feel responsible for what she did, but I still love her. She's my daughter, and I go see her every Saturday if I can.
I feel that her father should be where she is, and not her, for buying her the gun and what have you.
I want to live long enough to see her out of there, and you know, I'd just like to know that she's okay and can take care of herself when she does get out. So
You can't explain why she did it.
I have no idea. I can't explain why she did it. I don't know.
She started it all, and what was it, 9 months later, Geldof comes out with a song, and it was like we're going, oh my God, we didn't know whether to laugh or cry.
Oh, yeah, that was idiotic. No.
I used to work Mondays, and they almost always used to play it at about 2 o'clock on Monday. And that's kind of when my shift would start, and I'd get in there, and I'd be walking into work, and there that song would be. So, yeah, I like that song. I think it's a pretty song.